India, the USA, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Venezuela. People from these and many other countries of the world live with us side by side. They are working, starting families, growing up children and simply enjoying life in Kazakhstan. In our program Connecting Cultures, we share their stories that had occurred before they came to Kazakhstan and after they arrived here. From them, we will learn how the experience of staying in our country has changed their destinies. The Connecting Cultures program follows the life of foreigners in our country. Connecting Cultures is true stories told by representatives of many nations living and developing in Kazakhstan, and for whom our country has become a home. Kazakhstan is one of the most promising and prosperous countries which for many years retains the status of multinational state. For 25 years our country has made great strides and has become home to many people coming from different parts of the world. Our technology, medicine, industry and other branches have made great leap forward. Particular attention in Kazakhstan is always paid to education system, which enables our students to gain knowledge not only at home country but in prestigious foreign universities. One striking example of this practice is the Bolashak program, founded 20 years ago on the initiative of President Nursultan Nazarbayev. An integral part of educational system of Kazakhstan is international students who want to gain knowledge in the universities of our country. At this point of time, more than 10,000 students from around the world are trained in Kazakhstan every year, and this number is growing steadily. Today we are going to meet with several of them in a special edition of our program. Eastern culture has always attracted people from other countries. That is about our first heroine, who has traveled a great distance to arrive in Kazakhstan and be able to get acquainted with some peculiarities of the local cultural traditions.
My name is Louren Hays. I'm from Kansas City in the United States, and I am currently a student studying Kazakh language at Turan University. I had a friend who was living and teaching English in Karaganda, and she invited me to come visit her in 2012. I came and really enjoyed the culture, the people, and just the country of Kazakhstan, and decided for myself to come back and teach English also in Karaganda. For 2 years I lived there.
What did you know about Kazakhstan before coming here, and what was the reaction of your parents?
I didn't know much about Kazakhstan except for what my friend told me about her friends and the people that she worked with, the people that she knew in Karaganda. And just from what she told me, I wanted to try and look for myself what is Kazakhstan like. And my first impressions were that the people were very kind, very hospitable, very welcoming to me as a foreigner. I wasn't sure how they would feel about foreigners, but they were so welcoming and really invited me into their homes. We had tea. It was very, very nice.
Louren, why and when did you decide to come here to Almaty?
So after 2 years in Karaganda, my friend she moved back to America. She got a different job there, and so I decided to try living in a new city. And so I moved to Almaty and started looking for ways to teach English, and learned pretty quickly that I needed to learn Kazakh. Most people in Almaty speak Kazakh, and so I understood that to be able to be a good teacher of English, that it would be great if I also knew Kazakh. And so I started looking for opportunities to study Kazakh and found this opportunity at Turan University and the program for me to be able to study the Kazakh language for 1 year. Turan is a wonderful university. Our professor is very kind, very helpful, as well as the other faculty. They're so welcoming to us and so willing to help us. And I find that learning Kazakh is difficult but really interesting. I think the language is very beautiful, and I enjoy being able to speak with locals here in Kazakh, and I see how happy it makes them that I'm learning their national language.
What do you think about the Kazakhstan and the Kazakhstani people and the cultural differences that you might face here?
I'm really thankful that Kazakhstan is a very peaceful and stable nation. The politics are very stable. The president does a wonderful job. He is very faithful and really cares about this country. And I'm thankful that he allows many opportunities for students in Kazakhstan to study abroad, and for foreigners also to come and work and study in Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan is a multinational state where more than 120 nationalities live in friendship and harmony. And the educational system, not considering international standards, has been attracting more foreign students who may choose for themselves every possible training program.
My name is Wang Linpeng. I come from China and city Sanya, Hainan Island. I came here for study and I study in INAS. I'm student 3rd grade and I'm studying Russian and I'm going to become teacher and I like here.
Wang Linpeng, why did you decide to come to Kazakhstan?
I have a choice when I decided to go abroad to study, and many people speak to me, and you study Russian, and you must go to Russia, but I don't want to rush because I have many Kazakhstan friends and I study here.
What do you think about Kazakhstan in general?
I think that here in Kazakhstan education is very good and students all over the world come here to study, and I think that your government chose right direction, and I want every country in the world be very fast as Kazakhstan.
Ancient traditions, rich cultural heritage and richness of nature are integral parts of the huge country where people from many foreign countries strive to get. And having visited it once, they will certainly come back here for a long time to throw it their lot with Kazakhstan.
My name is Robinson. I'm French, I'm 18 years old, and I study business in Lille, which is a city in the north of France. And about 6 months ago, I had the opportunity to go to study abroad for a year with my school in France. So I had the choice between a few countries, which were Mexico, Turkey, Kazakhstan and Senegal. And I decided to go to Kazakhstan because I didn't know anything about this country. And in France, actually, almost like nobody knows about Kazakhstan. And so I thought it was like interesting to go in this country. You know, it was like a real challenge for me. And yeah, so I decided like to go there, and I didn't really know about anything about this country. So I just checked on the internet like a few pictures of Almaty, and I didn't even know the name Almaty before. And so yes, we came here with other friends from my school, and we arrived about a little bit more than 2 months ago. And our first impression was very, very positive, because we thought that Kazakhstan was like a little bit like an undeveloped country, you know. We thought that the city would be very like not so living, you know, like that there would be like nobody in the streets and nothing to do. And actually, not at all. We were totally wrong, and we were very very surprised, because there are lots of fancy restaurants, places to go out, lots of very modern malls, shopping centers, and yeah, so that was a very good surprise.
Do you have any local friends?
Yes. Actually, we hang out with we're a group like of a few French people, but we met a lot of Kazakh people who were very welcoming with us. They invited us to their home to eat traditional food. For example, we tried beshbermak, which is very nice. We tried horse meat, which is very nice too. And so now they're very good friends, and they show us Almaty, they show us Kazakhstan. We go to walk in the mountains with them, and it's very, very nice. I really love the Cherin Canyon, which is beautiful, I think. Turgen Gorge is very nice too. I've been to Big Almaty Lake to walk I walked in the mountains like after Big Almaty Lake, and that was really, really, really nice. It was amazing. And when I showed the pictures to my friends and family in France, they were so surprised that that Kazakhstan was that beautiful actually, because it's a shame that nobody knows Kazakhstan in Europe. and it really should be known because it's beautiful.
You'll stay here in Kazakhstan for next 10 months. What are your plans for this period of time?
So now I'm in second year of my studies, which will last for 5 years. And for the second year, so I'm staying here in Almaty. Then I'll have to go back to France to study again in France. And then in 2 years, I'll have the opportunity to go study abroad again. And so why not come back to Kazakhstan? Because I think that this country has many opportunities because it's a developing country. And I know that there are many companies that are growing here, many big companies. And I'm sure that there are many opportunities to start a new business here. And so I think that coming back to Kazakhstan could be a great idea.
For over 25 years of its independence, Kazakhstan has always paid great attention to the development of business and cooperation with other states. More and more foreign experts are coming to our country to share their experience and get high-quality knowledge in various higher educational institutions.
My name is Seung Ah. I'm from South Korea. I came to Kazakhstan 2 years ago in 2014 March, and I'm studying Kabutu in finance faculty. I was here when I was 7 years old for 2 years, and when I first came here, it was just about developing, and there was nothing very spectacular about this country. However, when I came back 2 years ago, it was astonishing. I was so amazed and surprised by how fast this country grew because everything was developed, everything was organized, and I truly learned about the work ethics of these people of Kazakhstan and also the policies and how government tried to develop this country. And also Korea has very nice relationship with Kazakhstan in international relationship. So I learned a lot. My grandfather and father was one of the first businessmen from Korea to came Kazakhstan in the beginning of 1990s. And from there on, my father has been developing his business here and with help of national companies and local people.
Seung Ah, I know that you came here in Kazakhstan for the second time in 2014 and you had plenty of choices between different countries. Why did you choose Kazakhstan?
Yes, I had plenty of choice where to study. For example, I had a choice for Hong Kong, United States, Korea, and other nations too. But I decided to come to Kazakhstan because this is one of the most developing countries in the entire world that developed so much from just passing through the post-Soviet era to one of the fast developing democratic country in Middle Asia. And I thought this is a great place where I can learn both Western culture and Eastern culture. It's like a Silk Road of Eurasia and Eurasia. And I decided to study Kabutu because I knew that there's a lot of professionals and a lot of foreign professors. And also I wanted to learn Kazakh language and Russian language while I was studying here. So I had a chance to study Kazakh, I had a chance to study Russian, and of course I had a lot of friends who helped me study in Kazakh and helped me study the language and also the culture here.
Your grandfather and father came here in Kazakhstan in the early 90s, and I hope and believe that they told you different stories about Kazakhstan, how it was and how it is right now. Can you share some stories?
Yes, I had a lot of pictures of this President Nazarbayev and our grandfather and my father. They always told me the great stories of how kind and nice he was, and due to his graciousness and due to his help, my family could establish our family in Kazakhstan for 20 years now. And I'm really thankful that he helped my father and grandfather when they first came here to start a business. And I'm really happy that our family could contribute to the development of this country. And I'm looking forward for my future that everything I'm learning in Kabutu to first help my father's business, and secondly, I want to contribute to this nation too, because what I learned here, I want to return it to Kazakh people.
Our heroes proved by their example that Kazakhstan, being a multi-ethnic country, gives an opportunity of receiving quality education to anyone who is interested. For 25 years of independence, the level of education in our country has risen to global standards. More and more international students want to gain knowledge here, thus contributing to the development of Kazakhstan.